Hey guys, GGZII here doing a quick video showing you my 2.6 LE Raider Spectral Throw build. This build is just to blast through maps and have some fun, try find some keys, and I'm going to showcase the gameplay first because I know people like gameplay first, and then we'll chat about my thoughts on the viability of the build, how I think it functions, is it good or bad, is it worth playing, but for now we're going to show some gameplay, chat a little bit about the gameplay. What you're seeing right now is Shape Strand. This was the strat I wanted to run for the league, shape my Atlas to only drop strands, run strand all day, and just get drops, get keys, get currency. This is my first build of the league, so we don't have access to all of the bosses to showcase. I've got some at GGZII, some Uberlab, some Breach Lords, but the main focus on this build is to be a fast, fun mapping build. It may not be able to kill the absolute high-end tier bosses, like Shaper with budget gear, but right now I'm managing to do strands very comfortably in multi-man parties, survive breaches, kill breach lords, albeit kind of limited, but it's working. And on the forum guide that I will link in the description, people have killed Shaper, Chayula, all the bosses in the game have been killed with this build, so it's got great scalability. What you're witnessing right now is just fun breach action. This is what I like to play. I played Flame Blast all league. If I wanted to make a build that was super boss kill orientated, super high end, focused on the DPS, the double dipping of ignites and fire damage and poison and chaos and all that stuff, if I wanted to make the most broken build possible, yeah, I could do something like that. But I got really bored last league, to tell the truth, of playing those type of builds, and I just wanted to map fast. You know, Flame Blast is good, it's amazing at everything, but it doesn't have the greatest clear speed at low level maps, and I wanted to blast through maps with a build that if I get currency, I can scale it up, and this does have that option. So we've seen it do shape strands, we've seen it kill Zoth breaches and Esh breaches, which luckily gave me an Esh breach stone, and you're kind of getting an idea of what it is. You are spectral throwing a foil, you are getting LE damage and all that good stuff, and you're scaling primarily lightning damage, and you're dropping into single target slower proj for the bosses. Now the gear I'm using right now isn't that great. You can see I haven't got an Orb of Storm set up to give me power charges, so in this clip my crit is lacking quite a bit. My crit is lacking in general. I need to get those LE damage rings with crit. All that stuff is kind of expensive, so it's probably not the greatest beginner build, but I started it at the beginning of the league, and that's what I chose to do because I wanted to do Shape Strand, because I wanted to blast through Shape Strand with my guild, and I wanted a build that could keep up. How do I rate the build? Personally, at the moment, it's like a 7 out of 10. It's doing exactly what I want it to do, but the difficult thing with this build is it's going to cost a lot to scale it up to become Shaper viable, to become tier 16 viable, and even then we are still life-based evasion. We are not Hands of Wisdom CI, we are not double dipping chaos and poison, so it's not going to be as strong as those type of builds, the ignite builds. It is going to be a weaker version of those builds, but it offers a playstyle that I enjoy. Spectral Throw is a playstyle I enjoy. Is it as good as Hands of Wisdom? No, but Hands of Wisdom claws right now I think are 100 chaos. I didn't have that at the start of the league, so I just decided to get a foil, an LE Spectral Throw, and that is where we're at. It can do the Uberlab. This right now is a fully buffed up Uberlab. Now yeah, you are Valpacked in the lab. You are not comfortable in the lab. This is not a lab farming build, but it's done it. It's killed the Uberlab fully buffed up, so it is possible. This is also with my really bad gear. My gear's improved a fair bit since I've shown this clip. Primarily for Legacy League, I wanted to be running Nemesis stones, Breach stones, Beyond stones, and I just wanted to be zipping along in the shaped mesa maps, in the shaped strand, and just killing bosses like this. So Uber lab farming, Shaper killing, all that stuff wasn't really on my mind. It can do it, but it's probably not the best build out there for it, right? As we've explained multiple times, it's not Hands of Wisdom CI, it's not double dipping chaos, but it does work. As you can see here, I'm buffing up, trying to get him fully buffed up for you, and we managed to kill the Uberlab. Yeah, that's all I asked of it. I just wanted to ascend so I could map. I'm having lots of fun with this build. I'm really enjoying the Shape Strand Atlas strat because it's just a linear layout that you can just blast through with Spectral Throw. I think it's really important, I would say, to have open maps for Spectral Throw. Otherwise, what you're going to end up with is a fast build that just gets stuck on a lot of corners, and it becomes a really frustrating build to play if you're not running linear maps, because the whole benefit of this build is its map clearing speed. Yeah, you're probably not going to clear as fast as a Val Spark, but it's going to be miles faster than, you know, Earthquake or something like that, or Flame Blast Totems. So its benefit comes in being able to kill maps quicker and gain more currency through doing things quicker, rather than killing super high-end bosses. As you can see, here we go, fully buffed up, slower progin. Just got to pray and channel that you dodge enough, and you manage to get through it. Welcome to part 2. We're going to discuss exactly how to level this, what gear we need, and what we need to look out for. Now, for me, I started out as a ranger, and the key concept of this build is basically you play Lightning Arrow up until about mid-Cruel, and then you transition to Spectral Throw. The leveling trees will be in the description. The gist of it is you path down, you get your life, and you path down to these proj nodes, these mana leech nodes over here. You don't get any of these elemental nodes really. You don't really need to get any of these nodes. You don't really need any of these are late game. Frenzy charges aren't really required. You pretty much just path in around the key areas to play as a bow build early on. This build is fine for leveling in my opinion. I didn't really struggle leveling. I just played Lightning Arrow and then I transitioned to Spectral Throw. So you go in through your life, picking up life as you go around these wheels, picking up your leech, picking up the proj damage, the life, going back up here, more life. You know, you can pick up some crit if you need, and you're just getting all the projectile damage and life. And that will flesh you out until mid-Cruel. Once you're in mid-Cruel and you notice Lightning Arrow begins to fall off a bit, then you can begin to look for a Foil and Spectral Throw, and then you can begin to fill in these elemental nodes. Again, all the trees will be in the description. For me, leveling was fine. There are a few things I should note or tell you about when leveling. Single target is a bit shit, to be honest, early on. It's a bit of a pain with single target on Lightning Arrow. You know, you're struggling. It's not Conk Effect Flame Blast. It's not any of that, but it works and you can get through it. The real struggle, in my opinion, is actually the level 70 to 85 zone, maybe even 75 to 85. That kind of zone is where everybody else seems to be doing incredible damage. Their builds are pretty much working, and yet yours is mediocre. I found, and maybe it was just my experience, but I found the 70 to 80 region really tough. Because you haven't got all your gems set up, you haven't got weapon elemental leveled up, you haven't got all these things here, your weapon elemental isn't set up. Spectral Throw, Lightning Pen, added lightning damage, they haven't leveled up, you probably haven't got the best foil or rings, and it's just kind of a mediocre Spectral Throw at that point, whereas every other build is coming together. So you've just got to really push through that period, and it does become a lot better. There was about a moment where I was really tempted to re-roll my character. I saw a lot of people on Reddit playing this build that were like, yeah, I'm re-rolling. I would say stick with it, because it does get so much better. You have to break through that poor part. Hey guys, welcome to part 3 as we've done part 2 with the leveling. For the gear, I wanted to run through a few things. All of the pieces of gear we're looking for, what stats we're looking for, and the gem links required. Now, the one-handed sword we're looking for, we'll keep this short and simple, and all the information will be in the forum guide if you've missed anything. A one-handed sword, you're looking for high attack speed, high elemental damage, focusing on as much lightning damage as you can, and high crit chance. That is what you're looking for in a foil. The gems I'm using on my foil, this doesn't have to be in your foil, it just has to be on your character. Val Grace, Val Haste, and increased duration. In your helmet, you can do a couple of things with your helmet. You can buy the SCOURGE's head, which gives crit chance, and importantly life. If we take this off, we lose 300 life, which is kind of a big deal. If you can rejig your resists around, or your tree, or however you want to do it, then you can get a rat's nest for more crit chance, which is more damage, but again, obviously you're going to lose the life, and an ideal enchant would be spectral throw damage. Or you can get a rare helmet, again, life, resist, evasion, which you could then get intelligence on your helmet, which would then allow you to get better jewelry because you're not looking for intelligence on all of your gear. So you can get a rare helmet as well, but we've gone for the 1C SCOURGE's head. Your shield is your main component. It's a unique shield, the Leica C-Day shield. It basically means your hits can't be evaded, which is great for spectral throw. Obviously then we don't need accuracy. Now if you have lots and lots and lots of currency, you could get flat accuracy on all of your gear, have sick gear with flat accuracy, and then you don't even need this shield. You could get an evasion shield with resists, or a completely different slot could go in here, because the only reason we're using this is for your hits can't be evaded, right? There's no other benefit to this really, so that is an option. Now my amulet is purely for intelligence. It has a bit of life on there and some lightning damage to attacks. This kind of sucks, this amulet. Been wearing this since forever, but I just need the intelligence for Wrath. You need 156 intelligence. I have 194, so maybe I could lose some intelligence somewhere and look for an upgrade. The rings you're looking for are basically weapon elemental damage, life, and lightning damage with some resists, I guess, because you're going to need resists. If you can put resists onto your helmet, then again, you don't need to look for crazy resist rings, which means you have better jewelry chances, which means more damage, right? I'm kind of tempted to lose this helmet, buy a rare helmet, lose these resists, and then I can look for much better jewelry. Your gloves are just going to be evasion gloves with life resists. Maybe you can get on lightning damage to attacks. You can use gripped gloves for the projectile attack damage, but it doesn't have to be. You could just use evasion gloves with an enchant. It's really up to you. Gloves are a pretty open slot really. There's nothing too major going on there. Your belt, life, weapon elemental damage, resists. Your boots, resists, life. I've got some int on my boots. You can also mastercraft on weapon elemental onto your boots, because we don't really need move speed because we're zipping about so much. Your chest piece is a belly of the beast. That's pretty much our only option, because it gives so much increased life and resists. Maybe you could do a lightning coil, but that really messes your resists up. Or you could do a lionized body, but you're going to need about 4 or 5,000 chromes. So that probably not an option. Now for the links that I've got in here an ice golem, I've got wrath. Now in your wrath, you can put wrath into your shield like this. You can have end power, wrath, and then you can val this shield for +1 sockets. So you'll have a +1 empower, which could be a level 4 empower, which is then empowering your wrath, which could be level 21. So that's level 5 empower with a level 21 wrath, and then you want to put in enlighten to reduce the mana costs. I haven't set this up yet, but that's what you can do when you get it, when you need it. I use ancestral protector because when I place it, you can see here, damage goes up because it gives attack speed. That's a little bonus. Your chest piece, GMP, weapon elemental damage, spectral throw, lightning pen, added lightning, and increased crit strikes. If you're on a 4 link, get rid of lightning pen. If you're on a 6 link, add in obviously everything. If you're on a 5 link, I would personally remove increased crits because I think the lightning pen is super important. For my boots, I've got Curse on Hit, Assassin's Mark, and Herald of Thunder, with a lightning golem for attack speed, or you can use Herald of Ice and an ice golem for crit chance. But personally, I like to use Herald of Thunder because it gives lightning damage to attacks. In my gloves, I've just got faster attacks, whirling blades, fortify, and reduced mana, so I can zip about really quick, and it doesn't cost that much mana. It costs 12 mana. And that's pretty much it for the setup. You can also have an Orb of Storms, Power Charge, on crit, increased crit strikes, and Culling Strike. But I haven't set that up yet because I'm lazy, but I probably should set that up because that is, you slam it down for bosses, and then you get power charges, and it culls, which is obviously great. Now the flasks, I've just got a life flask, a wise oak flask, which we'll talk about, a Zeri flask, obviously elemental damage is chaos, a mana flask because we need it, and this one will probably be a Vessel of Vinctor for the added lightning damage to attacks, or the penetration one. Probably go for the penetration one, but I think that's the most expensive one. Now the wise oak flask is for your most resistant one here, so I am most resistant to lightning resist. I have 170 lightning resist. When I press, if I could speak, when I press this pot, I go from 30, where are we? Offense. I go from, here we are. Where is it? I can't see, I'm blind. Here, lightning pen, I go from 35 lightning pen. I press my pot, I get 20 extra lightning pen. That makes mapping so much better. So that was our gear overview. Again, if you've enjoyed this video, or you like my guides, or you've just enjoyed it and you want to share it, then please do thumbs up the video and comment. It helps so much. It keeps me motivated, makes the channel more active, which in turn means better content for you. Let me know what build you're playing and if you're enjoying the league, and let me know what build I should play next. Is there any build you think I might enjoy, or anything you've seen that looks cool that you want me to try out and give my thoughts and opinions on? Hopefully you're all having a good day. Hopefully you will have some good RNG in the game. I need some. I need a piece of luck. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, as always. Peace out.